S is the root of the word essence. That's us, the ancestors. Our ancient ancestors were here. The Europeans came here and found our ancestors here. And yes, we could write, and yes, we could read. But we did not write nor read in the language they wrote and read in. They were so impressed with the way we lived and ran our governments and the situations, the way we did things, that they modeled and emulated everything after us. Right. Some of our people tried to help them and work with them. And everything that we did, all they did is turned on us and used it against us. And they have us, the progeny of our ancestors, in this trick bag and bind today. When I have a page out of I think it's an 1849 Webster's Dictionary. And the definition of American, who has a penny in here? Everybody pull out a penny. No, don't give it to me. Just pull it out. Put it on the brown hand side of you. Pull the penny out, stick your hand out, and lay the penny on the back of your hand like this. Y'all need to move a little faster. It takes that long to get a penny on the back of your hand. All right. The definition of this 1849 dictionary of American was the copper-colored races of people that the Pilgrims found on these shores when they arrived here. Today, however, the term is applied to the descendants of the Pilgrims that arrived here and found the true Americans. So when you look at the penny on the back of your hand, is the definition of American more you or them? You. The copper-colored races of, I think they said Aboriginal indigenous people that the Europeans, well, they said Pilgrims, that the Pilgrims found on the Americas when they arrived.
That was the year was 18.
That's an 1849 Webster's Dictionary. And I can tell my Webster's, but I'm saying all that to say, they had something that was going on when George Washington and these guys were running around. The Europeans that were brought here, remember this was a penal colony, a lot of people were prisoners of Europe, and they were displaced here to work and do trade, or to do the labor for trade. But some of them liked the way that we did things so well that a lot of them ran off the colonies and ran over to live with us. That's why the people that are on the reservations today look more like them than the true copper-colored races of people they found here. But when they came and they started running off with us, they had to pass laws to stop that. And one of the laws they called a law against Indianization, which was a European loving the way that the autochtons lived so well that they ran off to be with them and ran off from the colony. I just gave you another word that you should look up. The word is autochton, A-U-T-O-C-H-T-H-O-N-S. That's you. The Pilgrims are heterotochtons, people that come from somewhere else to a different land. Autochtons are people that are attached to the land. See, the autochtons here were lied to during the Reconstruction era. Not that they were, what is it you said, not smart, but they were not allowed to read the language of the Europeans. Because a lot of our people started teaching themselves this freaking language. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what they did is, you know, you could be killed, you could be disfigured, dismembered, tormented, tortured, or you have to watch them torment or torture one of your relatives that you care a lot about. The same way they convinced you to become Christian is the way they kept you from speaking their language. When they finally finished rewriting all the text and reconstructing all the manuscripts, then they started allowing our people to read. But you have to deal with something that's genetically inbred with this whole I could be beat or killed or tortured for reading, so that's still something with my people, the reluctance to read, because reading was almost beaten out of you. So when you were finally allowed to read, nobody was beating down the doors or they're breaking their necks to hurry up and read, because they still had to get over the fear that was attached to the forceful not reading, if that makes any sense. So it's still to this day that, what is it you said? Well, how far back was the fourth? What was wrong? We weren't smart then? Well, we're in the 2000s now. A lot of people still don't read that much. Most of the people sitting in here didn't even know how to look a word up in the dictionary. Does that make you not smart?
No, I'm saying that they're changing it, and they didn't change it back then.
They changed it back then. The fourth was different from the third, which was different from the second, which was different from the first. They're changing it all the time. See, if they keep changing the game and trying to keep you off step, every time you appear to catch up, they try to change the game and the rules of their Hellenistic code of mystification to keep you from figuring it out. But if it's new, it's not true, so don't deal with it anyway. If it's true, it's not new. So you want to get into the concept of finding the word, finding the brackets, and tracing back to the old original meanings of the word, because then you can find more of what was true. You understand what I'm saying? And we said all that to say what? Yeah. Yeah. All right, because like somebody asked me, they told me, well, we can't trust their books, we can't trust their dictionaries, because they're liars. They are liars. But their ancestors have died. And they've left this labyrinth. And in the labyrinth, you have, for lack of better words, Theseus, trying to find the way out of the labyrinth, and not able to find the way out until the golden thread is found, and then you follow the thread. So, in order for them to make sure that their progeny, or descendants, could keep this maze going, they had to leave a thread for their ancestors to follow. I mean, their progeny, children, to follow. That's where the brackets come in. And they never taught you how to use them. But they know their children know how to use them. So their children that are ruling over us know how to continue to rule over us because they have the thread to find their way through the maze of hell and confusion. You understand?
Black Rose is all about.
That's
what the movie The Black Rose is all about. The scene comedy.
I never heard of it.
About 6 hours long.
Okay. Anyway, how many people have ever signed a traffic ticket of some sort? I'm not sure about it out here, but in California, the tickets say on the signature line, I agree to appear in court on such and such a day. Do your ticket say that? Anything about agreeing to appear?
It's a checkbox.
Okay, well, if it doesn't say that, then we don't even need to cover that. Won't show up in court. Does it use the word show up or does it use the word appear?
Appear.
Okay, so then it is relevant. All right, get your Black Ball Dictionary out and turn to the word appear. We're going to have to speed up. I got a lot of information I want to give you guys. Which means if we can refrain from the interaction.
Well, certainly we can make up that time.
It doesn't matter. I don't know what everybody else's commitments are. Some people have children and things they have to do and places they have to go and clubs to go party in.
We'll go over a little bit, and the ones that can, then the GPA needs to tell the 2 weeks.
Okay.
So we're trying to give you all what y'all pay for.
I hope you're getting what you paid for. Is anybody unhappy so far? Okay, cool. All right, under the definition of appear, it says a few things, but when you get to the bottom, does it say see appearance?
Yeah.
Turn to appearance. See, this is what you have to do. If you are looking in a dictionary and they say go see this word, go see that word. Don't just assume that you already know what they're talking about, because you don't. This is not your language.
Right.
This language was shoved down your ancestors' throats. Their language was beat out of them. Thank you. I'll get this, yes. All right, appearance. Do you see under the word appearance where it says you submit yourself to the jurisdiction of someone else?
Submission.
Say it again?
Voluntary submission.
The voluntary submission, what else?
Voluntary submission to a court jurisdiction.
Okay. The voluntary submission to the court jurisdiction. That's what they have you agreeing to do when you sign anything that says you're coming to appear. And I'm not saying they have to say anything other than be clear what the word means, so that when you get in there, you look, a lot of people go to court and start arguing about jurisdiction, what jurisdiction, and all they're going to look at the contract that you signed and say, you agreed to appear, which means the appearance, which means you voluntarily agreed to submit yourself to their jurisdiction.